Welcome back to the KTC Garage. Thank you so much for joining me for another video this week. What I'm working on today out here in the shop is I'm working on some kind of an organization to store all of my flat discs. I've got a big box that I keep these things in. The box is getting all tore up. I can't find the ones that I need. I've got my new ones up on a shelf in a box, so if I need to grab one, it's a huge pain to take my gloves off and go get them. So I'm going to make a rack to store my flat discs. Now, this is not my idea. I've seen this on several other channels in the past. I know the first person I saw do it, I think, was Chucky 2009. I think he did one years ago. But here's what I have planned. I'm going to be taking some links. So here's what I have planned. I'm going to be taking some lengths of rebar and mounting 4 on the bottom and 4 on the top, like so. And what that's going to enable us to do is have a rack where we can just slip our stacks of flat discs on and have a really nice, neat organizational way to keep track of them. Now, the neat thing about having this rebar is it has these ribs on it, so it gives it a little bit of a resistance of just falling off. And I'm also going to angle these pieces of rebar up. Now, I don't really want to go 45 degrees. I want to do about 30 degrees. And I think 45 would just be too steep of an angle. And so right now, I'm in the process of making a jig. I've been watching a lot on jig making, and all of the professionals, if they have something they need to do repetitively and get the same angle over and over, they always make a jig. And that's something that I'm trying to get better at so that each piece turns out exactly the same. It's definitely a pro level way of doing things. And so what I'm looking to do is make a wooden jig that I can slip this in and hold it perfectly in place on this piece of plate where I want it, and then weld it up so they'll all look exactly the same. So my idea was I'm going to take the new DeWalt miter saw and I'm going to wedge a piece of 2x4 at exactly 30 degrees and then put a notch in it so that I could just slide this in and weld them. So that's what I'm working on now, and we'll end up with a rack like this. And this is going to be a little bit of trial and error to get this perfect. That looks perfect. Now all I need to do is cut a groove right down the center of this for this to lay in. I'm trying to think how the best way to do that would be. Well, I just realized something. First of all, I realized that DeWalt is not set at square. They shipped it from the factory a little bit off of 0 for some weird reason. Alright, so let's try that again. That's going to be a perfect angle right there. Guys, I'm always very careful cutting small pieces like this in my saw. I really don't like doing it. The reason that I don't like doing it is it has a tendency to hit and throw pieces. It's very hard on the carbide teeth. I really don't like doing this. I've put a piece of metal in here to bring this back this way of the blade. If this piece of metal is all the way back here, it really has a tendency to catch it going up. At least right here, it's hitting almost in the center of the blade. So the first two that I did, it didn't go real well. Let's see if I can get it to not kick back. Yeah, you see that? I don't know how to keep it from doing that. The teeth look okay. I do not like cutting small pieces of metal in this saw. I like it too much to let it get messed up. But I had to get this 30-degree angle in there so that whenever I put this, it'll be flush with the rack. Well, here it is all finished up. And the reason that this is just freestanding is because I plan on welding this to my welding table once I get it finished. I'm gonna have a grinding rack, and right next to the grinder rack, I will have my flat discs inside where I can just grab them real easily. That's why I didn't attach this to anything as of yet. And by the way, I should be starting that welding table hopefully next week. And I'm gonna bring you guys along. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and join our great community that we have on this channel. And give me a thumbs up, because you know it means a lot. We'll see you in the next video.